What is up, everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I went from this in July to this now. A little backstory for the picture in July. Obviously I had a pretty good base. I had quite a bit of muscle, but I wasn't tracking calories anymore. I wasn't going to the gym very consistently, and I really didn't care. I wasn't weighing myself. I was just kind of fed up with tracking everything and being so meticulous. I felt like it was taking a toll on my mental health. It was also taking a toll on me looking at myself in the mirror every day and seeing my gains, or whatever you want to call it, just fade because it was being covered up with fat and I was losing muscle. Whenever I would go to the gym, I wasn't as strong, even though I was heavier. And my whole life, if I got heavier, I was consistent in the gym, and I would also get stronger because my body was using the fuel to push more weight, but I wasn't going consistently. So it all kind of plateaued and went down. So I reformulated my whole outlook on fitness, and I realized I'm not currently a bodybuilder. I'm an aspiring bodybuilder, but I wasn't currently a bodybuilder. So in high school, I tracked everything down to every single gram, and I wasn't eating enough, but I did get shredded, and I missed looking like that. So here's a picture of me whenever I was at my leanest. I think I'm probably 5% body fat from that right now, which isn't really a big deal to me because I felt like garbage whenever I looked like that. As you can guess, I was getting sick all the time. Whenever your body fat is that low, your immune system goes down, your sex drive goes down, your testosterone goes down. There's not really many benefits to staying like that, unless it's for you're gonna go take pictures, you're gonna be in a bodybuilding show. You can only maintain that for so long. So right now I'm probably 15% body fat, and I'm the happiest I've ever been with my body. So in July, I wasn't tracking, as I already stated, and I was just fed up. And then I got into a relationship, and this has nothing to do with her, because no matter if your significant other goes to the gym or not, it doesn't mean you can't. But whenever I was in that relationship, I kind of put all my focus on her and not myself. I was only focused on school, my daughter, and her. I wasn't focusing on anything that makes me happy. Obviously, my daughter makes me happy, but that's an obligation for me. I have to, see my daughter. I mean, I don't have to, but I want to. But I wasn't doing the other things that make me happy that I did before I got with her. I kind of realized, okay, so I'm in a relationship now. I look like garbage. I'm going to eat better. And that was the first thing that I did. I got in that relationship and I started eating better. I started to lose a little bit of weight. I think I was probably 235 in that picture, and right now I'm 226. So about 9 pounds, but it looks like a lot more. And the way I did that was I ate pretty much of my maintenance calories every single day. So I was eating 2,800 calories, and I wasn't going to the gym. I only went 4 times in our whole 4-month relationship. But I was definitely losing weight, and the muscle that I had already obtained in that picture started showing again. So I looked like I lifted a lot more than I did, but I wasn't as strong. So then after me and her, called it quits, which was about a month and a half ago, I was like, all right, here's what we're going to do, Cannon. You're going to make yourself happy again, because you can't let other people dictate your happiness. I started going to the gym, started being really consistent, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to be as meticulous, because that took a toll on me. If the scale weight wasn't going down, then I was upset. It dictated my whole day. So I'm only going to weigh once a week. And that's what I did. I weighed myself once a week. So no matter what, if I kept up my diet, it would either stay the same or go down. It never went up. I started doing different movements. I started including more movements that I realized that I needed to bring up in my physique. Obviously, everybody right now wants the aesthetic physique. The first thing you see in this picture, Alex Eubank. The boobies, like his chest is insane. And I was like, okay, so my chest is definitely underdeveloped. My arms are too big for the rest of my body. My legs need a lot of work, and I have a muffin top. What I need to do is I need to decrease my calories so I can lose fat, but I want to keep as much muscle as possible. So I went into a 200 calorie deficit, and I did not go off of that. And this has been about 2-3 months since then, and I've lost 9 pounds. So pretty good. And I'm still losing. I'm still on track. I'm still cutting. It's going really well. I'm really happy with my body, and I feel great. My sex drive is fine. TMI, I don't really care. I'm single now, so I realized the things that I needed to work on. So I stopped hitting arm day as much, or anything that really has to do with arms. So push-pull legs, instead of doing 3 sets of triceps, I only did 1. Or doing 3 sets of biceps on pull day, I only do 1. You know, Arnold split. I did shoulders still because shoulders are very important to an aesthetic physique. As you can see here, Will Tennyson, best natural shoulders in the game in my opinion. And then I realized I needed to get my legs up because Jesse James West, if you look at this picture, these are all 3 very aesthetic natural athletes, and I'm a natural, so I look up to these guys to kind of be like, okay, even though our genetics might be different, our body proportions are different. You know, I'm 6'6". They're, who knows, I think Jesse James West is 5'10". Will Tennyson says he's 6 foot, but he always makes jokes that he's like 5'10". And then Alex Eubank, I have no idea how tall he is, but I'm really tall. So it's obviously going to look different on me than them, and everybody's genetics are different. These are all guys that I know I can look for, you know, the aesthetic physique. So how do I get there? The way that I did it was, obviously I said 200 calorie deficit, and I started training certain muscle groups more. So I started focusing on my upper chest more because my chest is underdeveloped, and immediately I saw insane growth from doing incline Smith machine. The Smith machine, I get a better contraction. I can go closer to failure because you don't really need a spotter. You can just rack it and you're fine. The first thing I did was I included 4 sets of 15 reps because I'm trying to do muscle hypertrophy training. So that's basically pretty high rep. If you don't know what RPE is, which I didn't for the longest time, it is pretty much how hard you're going. So I would do RPE 7 to 8 on 15 reps. Leave a few in the tank just because, you know, I don't want to over exhaust myself in the middle of my workout. So I would do RPE 7 to 8, and I would also do other chest movements on top of that. Another chest movement that I do is I think it's called incline isolateral machine. Here are some clips. I'm doing a post commentary, not like an actual in the gym commentary. So it's kind of weird. I don't even know how I'm going to do this, but I guess if you're watching this, I figured it out. So good for me. I'll either do the incline Smith machine or the isolateral incline press. And I really only do these 2 because I feel it a lot. Like whenever I do low to high cable flies, I don't really feel them in my upper chest that much. I feel them more in my shoulders. And I think it's because my arms are so long, so I don't really get to squeeze as much as I want to because the cable kind of cuts off on my shoulders. I'll put up a picture of how my chest looked a little bit before I stopped lifting, just so you know, because obviously if I did it right whenever I stopped lifting, it would be flat. But this is my chest right before I started adding those movements, and then this is it now. So I think it's a pretty good improvement, especially over only the course of 4 months, and I've been training off and on for 5 years as a natural. So if you're a natural, you will notice a lot of stunted growth as you go. You know, it's a lot harder to gain muscle, it's a lot harder to see size, it's a lot harder to see new striations, and that's just because your body can only produce so much naturally. I think it's pretty good. You guys might not, but I'm proud of myself. So the next thing is obviously aesthetic physiques. If you look here, we have a picture of Tristan Lee. Now, Tristan Lee's natty status, who knows? I don't really care. He looks amazing. He's shredded year round. Good for him. His arms are insane. I'll either do rotating hammer curls or just regular bicep curls, but I included rotating hammer curls in this because I really enjoy them and I think they're fun. So I'll do 4 sets of 12 to 15. Depending on how I'm feeling that day. If my arms are tired from a pull day or, you know, a chest and back day, then I'll go towards the 12. But if I'm not tired, I'll do a 15. So once again, RPE 7 to 8. I like to go close to failure on biceps, but not all the way just because I am scared of tearing it. Just because I've seen so many videos of people tearing their biceps or tearing their pecs, that's why I stop at about RPE 7 to 8. Now, obviously, if you're maxing out, you want to go closer to RPE 9, but I don't really max out. Maybe one of these days I'll do a video on me maxing out just to see. For triceps, I like to use a really fat grip because I feel like it helps with my forearms as well. So I'll use a fat grip for tricep pushdowns and I'll do 12 to 15. A lot of the time on arm movements, I do 12 to 15 just because I get a really good contraction that way and I feel like I'm pushing myself closer to failure. And I like to have a rep range, so if I feel like I can hit 15, I'll go ahead and hit 15 rather than just stopping at 12. I'll do 12 to 15 of the tricep pushdowns and I'll also do 12 to 15 on shoulder raises, and I like to superset them with rear delt shoulder raises. You really need to focus on your rear delts because it's what gives you bowling balls on your shoulders. I like to do those. Those are probably my favorite, and I always superset them just because I get a really good pump from it, and I can tell whenever I put on my shirt or I take off my hoodie that I am going to be dead. So I like that feeling, you know? It makes you feel like you're working hard. It makes you feel like you're really pushing yourself. So I always superset those. You don't have to, but I do, just because I feel like it gives me a better pump and it makes me feel the rear delts more, because whenever I just do rear delts only and I rest between the sets, I don't feel it as much, rather than if I do shoulder raises and then immediately go into the rear delt shoulder raises. You have to be proportionate. You know, his upper body's amazing, but if he had chopstick legs, he wouldn't look that good. So you look at his legs, amazing. Yes, I do hit legs. I know I haven't posted them yet. I don't really know how to post it because I have a really bad back, so my leg days are very different than a lot of people's. I actually have a lacerated disc in my lower back, and I've had to go to the hospital 2 or 3 times, one time by ambulance because I literally couldn't move. So my leg days are very different than other people's, so if you're interested in that, let me know. I can do hack squats, and that's one of my favorite leg movements. I also like the leg press, but I like the hack squat more because I feel like it gets my booty more. You know, gotta have the big buns, gotta have the big butt. The next thing I'll do is leg extensions. I really like leg extensions, and I point my feet, my toes towards each other whenever I do them so that I hit my outer quads more. If you put your legs out, you'll kind of hit the teardrop more. I feel 100% confident that since I started doing my toes pointed more together, they've grown a lot. I also added weighted crunches. I don't even really know what to call these, but I do those. I'm not including those in the top 10 just because it's not really a special movement, but I do those and I just go basically until failure. Only I'll do like 40. If you want to have a V taper, you got to have good lats or else it's not going to work. So I actually have a pretty big waist around, like even at my leanest, I was a 34, and it sucks, but it's just how it is, you know. The genetic lottery wasn't good to me in my waist. My back workouts, I actually am very proud of the back gains that I've maintained because I didn't train back for the longest time whenever I started lifting. So my favorite back movement is actually single arm cable rows. I lean forward to get my lower back because it doesn't actually hurt my lower back whenever I do that. And then whenever I pull back, I squeeze as hard as I can so that my elbow is as close to my spine as possible, and I get a really good contraction. Next back movement I do is just simple. It's a lat pull down or a pull up. I don't like doing pull-ups just because I'm 225 pounds, and whenever I do them, I can only do like 5 and I feel kind of bad about myself. I like to do 12 to 15 on these two as well, just because, like I said, whenever you're training for muscle hypertrophy, you're trying to blow up and you're trying to tear your muscle as much as possible. And the longer you extend that, the bigger you'll get. So that's why I do 12 to 15, because I do it slow and I pull and I squeeze, and then I started growing. So that was my top 10 movements for building an aesthetic physique. I'm pretty proud of how far I've come in the past couple months. I've been grinding, you know. I do cardio occasionally. I work in a warehouse, so I'm walking around all day, but sometimes I will add the Stairmaster. I have a treadmill in my house. I'll do an incline walk on all the way up, incline 3.5 miles an hour for about 20 minutes. I'll just throw on a YouTube video. If you guys are doing it, you better turn on my YouTube videos. But if not, no hard feelings. Time goes by kind of fast. Whenever you're on a treadmill, I swear a minute feels like 8 days. But whenever I'm on my break at work, a minute feels like half a second. The next thing I'm gonna show you is some foods to curb your cravings, because obviously if I was at 2,800 calories, I'm a big guy. I eat a lot. Like I can eat 10,000 calories, no problem. I've actually done that before because I wanted to see if I could do it. I didn't record it, but I did it, and it was probably one of the easiest eating challenges I've done. I can eat a lot, and these are foods that help. They might not help yours, but I have a really big sweet tooth. Like I could just eat one sweet thing after another and feel completely fine, and hopefully they'll curb yours. These are the foods that help curb my cravings. I know what you're thinking, pancake mix, what the hell? So what I do is I'll use 1 serving of this, which is 210 calories, and then I'll use 1 scoop of protein powder with the almond milk, stir it together, put some powdered peanut butter in it because I love peanut butter, everything. And then I make protein pancakes. Only use 1 serving. If you want to use 2, it's going to be a lot more calories, but make more pancakes. So, next thing, these rice cakes. They taste like you're eating styrofoam, but for some reason, I love them. The chocolate flavor is my favorite. A lot of people like caramel as well. Light Greek yogurt. I just get the Walmart brand because it's cheap. It's like 97 cents for one, and then it's 80 calories, 13 grams of protein. Pretty good. I like these 2 flavors the best, blueberry and peach. I don't just eat bread by itself, but I'll mix that with some water, use some sugar-free jam. I don't have any on hand right now, but I'll eat a PB&J because I love PB&Js as well. I use these tortillas. They're really big, and they're only 80 calories, 6 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat. pretty good macros. There's also 18 grams of fiber per one. So normally I have 2, so you don't want to be around me after I eat this, but I'm so full, I can't even move. So I can't even run away from you if I had the chance. And then lastly, apples. I love apples. Oh no, not lastly. We have Halo Top. I love Halo Top. A lot of people like other brands better. I don't know. I like Halo Top, but I live in Oklahoma, so there's not really many other options than this because nobody here tries to be healthy but me, I guess. I eat really good food and I don't really skip out on things that I would want. Yes, it might be a little bit more expensive. I might have to make it myself. But if you want the lifestyle and you want to look like you've always dreamed of, you kind of have to make sacrifices. And I'm okay if I spend an extra $15 at Walmart every month because I want to feel confident in myself. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as I'm putting away everything that I just took out. Until next time, stay fitting.